And Johnny, let's close out the podcast. If you thought the MCU was safe, even in the Earth realm. Earth realm?
Realm.
The realm.
Even in the Earth realm.
So it's funny.
Let me put some tobacco in.
I say that because you said to me as we were in between topics, switching the camera, you're like, wow, this has been pretty much how do we destroy the MCU podcast. And if you thought Earth was safe, wait, my friends, hold my beer. The Quantum Realm has you covered. As before we get into everything, follow me on Twitter. That's what happens when
you get us all hopped up on Mountain Dew.
Yeah, you can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Ricky Widmer, War Machine 9085. Instagram for Johnny is
Thor_Odinson90.
And then Most Valuable Podcast is at Most Valuable Pod. But Johnny, let's get into everything that you thought Earth was safe. Oh, cool. We're safe here on Earth.
We broke reality. Now we're going to break time.
And we're not. So the news of this and why we're talking about it is that we've got what? What are you looking at?
You said, I said we broke reality. We're gonna break time. You go, we're not.
We're not.
I'm like, well, fuck you then.
We're not. But basically,
contradict me, you asshole.
What I'm going into is that Ant-Man 3 has now been announced. They're going to do it. They don't have the exact date yet, but Peyton Reed, who I'll be completely honest, sorry to Peyton, when I first saw that name, I was like, oh, a nice female director. And then I saw a picture of Peyton, and I went, Peyton is not a female at all. He'll be back for his third Ant-Man film. So basically what we're looking into...
He does a good job.
Amazing job. But what we're looking into is the Quantum Realm was such a big deal with Infinity War and more so Endgame. It's how they were able to go back in the timeline, get the stones that they needed in order to fix what had happened. Now it is, what's that going to mean going forward? Because one of the big things that we still haven't touched is Janet Van Dyne, where basically she was in the Quantum Realm. She's got her powers now, where I know she used them to stop Ghost from phasing in and out, but ever since the end of Ant-Man 2, we've kind of put it on pause because her and Hank were also snapped away. Yeah. They were not in correct me if I'm wrong, they were not in the big fight scene. I
did not see them in the big fight scene.
So for me, one of my questions...
Which actually I was surprised.
One of my questions is, where are they? One of my other questions is, are we finally going to get an explanation of what her powers are? Because the big kind of theory here, and this is before we get into the Quantum Realm and what they're going to do with that moving forward, maybe this plays into it, is her powers the way, people love to do this. Oh, she's got powers now. Are they going to use the Quantum Realm and what the Quantum Realm brings to explain mutants in the MCU? Because we're still waiting for Marvel to explain how they're going to bring mutants into the MCU now that they have the X-Men. But I will ask you, Johnny, what do you think is going to be, how are they going to explain her powers? And how does Janet Van Dyne's powers play into everything, especially for Ant-Man 3?
Maybe once again they'll start doing their quantum, or one of two things. Either way, they're going to the Quantum Realm.
Yes.
I don't know. I have a few ideas on how or for what reason. It could be the research thing again because he got stuck in there when he was trying to gather quantum energy. Mm-hmm. And they were supposed to pull him back out, but they got dusted. Yeah. He was stuck there for 5 years. And that's where
Ant-Man, thanks to the mouse, or the rat
came
hit
back.
The button. Yeah.
True hero of Endgame.
The real MVP.
Yes. But anyways, you got him. Mm-hmm. They're going to go back. Maybe he as well, or maybe one of the two, Janet Van Dyne or him, found that micro city.
In the comics, it's the Micronauts.
Micronauts, or the micro city. But this would be the
Quantum City?
Quantum City, the Teenyverse.
The Teenyverse. I like it. The Teenyverse. The Teenyverse.
The microverse battery.
Little teeny tiny. But go ahead.
Rick and Morty reference.
Saying. Yeah.
I didn't know if you got that.
No, I like it.
Anyways, so maybe they'll go that and then some.
Will Stephen Colbert be down there? Will he voice a character?
That'd be great. Hey, yeah, you did the teeny voice reference in Rick and Morty. Can you come do it for
We want
for
you
this?
to be the leader of the teenyverse in the MCU.
Something. Someone in there. Someone in... Anyways.
Johnny's like, stop derailing me.
So I think it's going to have something to do with that. They're going to have maybe like he goes into there. This time he gets captured by someone from that city since it's technically... So Marvel can't use the rights to Micronauts because it's a whole Hasbro own thing.
And they licensed that when they did it.
Which is why they can't use it, call it the Microverse.
Yeah.
But whatever. We call it the Quantum Realm.
Yeah, whatever.
And they'll have their own, because in one scene they show a video you and I watched. I didn't even notice because I didn't watch Ant-Man enough times.
Where it looked like a little city.
Yeah, there's a little city, looked like it was in a little bubble, and that Marvel could say, no, that's just coincidence that it looks like a city, but it looks a little too
like skyscrapers and stuff.
A little too conveniently like a city for it to be nothing. And where was Janet for what? 50 years? Or?
Probably in that city.
Yeah, to survive there, and not to mention the tech she has. I have a hard time believing she made that with the lack of materials that would have been around her.
And here's another interesting thing too.
Or that could be the development of her powers.
And the video both you and I watched was from Charlie, Emergency Awesome. Great YouTube channel. Go ahead, give him. He doesn't need our help getting subscribers. No. He's got way more than us. He's got, about 3.2 million subscribers.
Don't ask me, you watching more than I do.
Well, I have the video up, so I wanted to. Yeah,
You didn't send me the video.
He's got 3 million subscribers to our... I'm counting MVP Nerd because that's what we're on now, to our less than 100 subscribers because we just
MVP Nerd, yeah.
Yeah, we just split the channel, what our combined 16.7 thousand if I count the MVP regular channel. So he's got way more than us, but I mean, go give him a follow if you don't because he's amazing in what he does, and I can tell he does the research, and it's why I use him as one of my, hey, I need to better understand this. Let me see what Charlie says because he does the research about it. But the thing with this is one of the points that was brought up is just because Hank figured out the quantum realm and everything in our multiverse doesn't mean that there's somebody else that, or even, I'm going to say even on our Earth because everyone's pointing to Reed Richards. What if there's a multiverse with Reed Richards, and that's how they're ending up going to link the Fantastic Four and the X-Men to us? Because the big MacGuffin, one of my favorite words, is going to be, we haven't mentioned mutants on our Earth. How are you going to explain them?
They're miracles.
Where have they been? Yeah, there's that. But I mean, the thing too was, are they going to have it where Reed Richards was kind of like the Hank Pym of a different multiverse, where it's like, instead of on this multiverse, it's not Hank Pym that figured it out. It's Reed Richards that figured it out. He's the smart mind behind it in a different multiverse. And then Doctor Strange kind of links them together, and now we're in the same multiverse. But that's another thing. Or is Reed Richards doing something over here, and he's visiting this Micronauts or this tiny verse? Along with Teenyverse, along with Janet Van Dyne. It's going to be very interesting where they're going to go with it because they could go numerous ways. And I know that there's many people. Here's the thing that pisses me off. There's a lot of people out there. I saw a post on Twitter where someone on my timeline's like, why are they making an Ant-Man 3? Ant-Man 3 is not even that great of a movie. They should be making better movies. It's like, yes, you may not like Ant-Man, but Ant-Man's the only way you explain the quantum realm. He is our link. His movies, A, are the link to the quantum realm. 2, something we'll get into, is are they going to introduce Stature in this? Because Stature being Cassie Lang, Young Avengers, we're always going to talk about that. But I mean, with the quantum realm moving forward, it's kind of like a what's next for it? And what use will it give us phase 4, phase 5? Because there's another thing too. We used quantum realm for time travel in Endgame. Do we find out through the Ant-Man movie, they explain it further, and then we find out in a post-credit scene, oh, that's how Kang is doing this. Is Kang also using, like, the example of people saying, well, someone else figured it out, is Kang in the future, and I know you, last week we talked Young Avengers, Johnny gave a whole nice Kang the Conqueror theory that you should check out, but then we get a post-credit scene, and maybe Ant-Man 3 is when we get if Kang is the villain for Young Avengers, because Young Avengers it'll be closer to the Young Avengers timeline, because the 3 dates, I was going to pull those up, that we have after Phase 4 right now are, let's see, come on, give me these dates. Here we go. So one of them is February 18th, 2022. And this ties in because we talked about this in the Young Avengers topic. So after Phase 4 completes, November 21st, I believe, is Love and Thunder, the Thor movie. Then February 18th, that's an untitled Marvel movie. That's number 1. Then you've got the Black Panther movie, which they already have a date for. I'll have to pull that one up. And then they have an untitled Marvel movie, July 29th of 2022. So they have 3 movies in 2022 lined up, 3 spots. Is Ant-Man 3 maybe going to take that February spot? Does it take the July spot? And is that post-credit scene, like, is this the movie to push the quantum realm further? And this movie gives us the exact reasoning to where the post-credit scene shows us, oh, that's how Kang is going to come in to Young Avengers. That's how he's traveling through time.
See, again, my theory wasn't with Young Avengers. Mine was with the alternate Avengers, I'm going to call them. But I was going to say...
I mean, I'm saying Young Avengers because that's what everyone feels like Marvel is going to call it. The next Avengers movie. Well, New Avengers, Alternate Avengers, Young Avengers, Avengers 5, basically.
I'm saying Avengers 5.
Yeah.
Young Avengers are different than the Alternate Avengers.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Because the Young Avengers are like Wiccan, Hulkling, blah, blah, blah.
Then I'll say for Avengers 5 then.
Yeah.
Is what I'll say.
Okay. I would say Ant-Man would be a great way to do that because you can have it sort of a movie where... Wow, I'm talking fast.
Go ahead.
I'm all jacked up a Mountain Dew. So... make it maybe whatever reasoning, I don't know. I don't have one yet 100% for like the quantum people of the quantum realm to capture Ant-Man, but have them capture him and or Wasp. And maybe it's because they mistake him for Kang, who's been traveling through their realm, or maybe it's because they used the quantum realm to time travel. They didn't like that. They saw it as an invasion. Yeah. Even though they just kind of traveled through it.
You're talking about the Tinyverse saw it as an invasion?
I'll just call them as Micronauts anyways.
But we're talking about the Quantum City.
Yes, the Quantum City. So I'm going to say maybe like part of the movie is them, or maybe they capture Ant-Man and like as Janet has him on like the headset, intercom. Hear him going like struggle and like basically cuts out. Capture him. They have half the movie is like sort of his part of the story of like he's stuck in there. Half the movie is like her and Stature?
Yeah, Stature
coming to save him.
So you think that Stature will be
maybe they include Stature because like, well, I can't do this alone. And Cassie volunteers herself, saying it's basically like it's my dad I'm going with.
Yeah, so let's see. I gotta actually look up exactly what Stature's powers are because I forget.
I think she just gets the same thing as almost as Wasp, but sort of like the combined of the two of them. Maybe
I'm gonna pull it up.
Go ahead. And
there
we
go. Stature's powers and enemies and shit. Wow, Marvel.com hit me with so their profile. Her durability is a 2. Her energy is a 0. Oh, wow. Her fighting skills is a 3. Her intelligence is a 2. Oh. Her speed's a 2. And her strength is a 2.
God,
so she's not a very strong hero.
No.
From what they're saying, they don't give me a list of her powers. So I'm just going to read what they have here. It's a 3-paragraph biography. As a young girl, Cassie's father, Scott Lang, adopted the guise of Ant-Man to help save her life. Yada, yada. I'm skipping that. Everyone knows that. Afterwards, Casey retreated herself, stunning her mother and stepfather's attempts to reach out to her. Secretly, the superhero life continued to call her, and the disaffected Cassie toyed with the idea of leaving her home and joining the Los Angeles-based rogue team of young heroes known as the Runaways. After seeing a story on TV about the Young Avengers, she sought them out, becoming a full member. But they don't tell me exactly what her powers are.
I'm thinking it's just the same as Ant-Man, or more so
Yeah,
Wasp.
I'm assuming it's the same thing because she's got other aliases are Cassie, Giant Girl, and Ant Girl.
Yeah, I'm
assuming it's the same
sort of
thing.
like a Ant-Man or Wasp even, because from the photo that was there, it looked like
that she's got wings and stuff.
got the wings. She's basically got another Wasp suit.
Yeah. So, and the other thing I did find out.
Yeah.
So those 3 dates in 2022, February 18th, which is an untitled movie, so that's open. Black Panther is set for May 6th of 2022, and then the July 29th, 2022.
So 2 untitles.
Yeah. So basically, this movie is either going to take February or middle of February, late July.
Okay. Well, again, so let's go back to what I was saying.
Go ahead.
The 2 of them go in there to save it, and then I'm trying to figure out how to tie in Kang other than just strictly a after credit scene. And I want to say the after credit scene would be
because he's not going to be the villain of that movie.
No, he's not. He's just going to sort of be tied into it, to where maybe they mistake Ant-Man for Kang as like.
See, I don't think you need to do that. I think you treat Kang
just completely separate of
kind
the
of
movie.
Kind of like Thanos was
in the first Avengers.
For the first Avengers, where he's a threat that's coming, the Avengers will.
I'm
get
down
to
for
it.
that. So just keep him separate, make an after credit scene of him. I can just see him going kind of like maybe like the slam of the fist, and like you show hit like a big window, whereas reality is kind of like almost like it's
phasing out,
phasing in and out, because it's like basically like after the snap. Kind of reference towards that, and realize that like his reality is shifting to him not being a conqueror anymore.
Well, when I'm saying this post-credit scene, I'm saying this is one of the first. This isn't going to be the first one we see of Kang.
Yeah,
the one that you're saying with the phasing out and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean maybe that works because like we're getting more towards like, oh shit, this is a problem. I feel like if Kang's going to be the main villain of Avengers, we will see one post-credit scene in Phase 4. So within the next 3 years, we'll see a post-credit scene of Kang. But by the time we get to Ant-Man 3, since even let's say, I'll say for the sake of argument, it's the July one. The July 29th one. Then that means what? We've got less than a year to go until Avengers 5. That's more of your like, I don't want to say fuck it, I'll do it myself kind of a moment. I know Thanos didn't say that. I'm paraphrasing. Not the I'll do it myself, because that was Ultron.
Yeah, that's Age of Ultron.
That was not the last. Was that the last time we saw him before Infinity War?
Let's see, Guardians of the Galaxy. We saw a little bit of him in, not a lot. Just like a sort of Emperor Star Wars style.
Did that come out after Ultron?
I can't remember. That's 2014.
Okay.
Was Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm looking up right now. The
Age of Ultron.
It's
I think
10 years. It's 10 years of films. Like I forget when I watched them.
Yeah, no,
I even forget that Hulk came out before Iron Man 2.
Yeah,
or Iron Man 3 or something like that.
Yeah, no, I think so. Yeah, no, I think.
Yeah, so it was Ultron, then Ant-Man ended Phase 2.
Yeah.
Civil War started Phase 3.
Guardians
1 was right before the movie before Ultron.
Yeah. So okay, so you had Ultron. I think was the last time we saw Thanos.
Because
before
Ultron was the
Infinity
I'll do
War.
it myself. Not Ultron. Thanos wasn't in at all Guardians 2.
Yeah. No, I think that's
because the movies we got after Ultron.
Yeah.
Ant-Man, we didn't see him.
Nope.
Civil War.
Nope.
Doctor Strange.
Nope.
Guardians 2.
Nope.
Spider-Man.
Nope.
Thor Ragnarok.
Not
Did
really,
we?
but we saw a ship.
Oh, his ship.
Go.
Well, Thor. Okay,
Thor's like, everything's going to be fine. The ship
that's
just goes,
right. So up until Thor Ragnarok, or Thor Ragnarok, we saw basically the beginning of what was going to be the beginning of Infinity War
Yeah.
at that point.
Literally just
So
one
I
right
don't
into
really
the-
count that
No, I
because
don't
that's,
either. You didn't see
so
him.
really Ultron was the last, like the I'll do it myself was the last time we saw him until Infinity War.
Yeah.
Because Black Panther was the only thing in between Ragnarok and Infinity War. That's what I think. And fuck, that was even like 3 years. That Ultron one was 3 years before Infinity War. I think this could be the same thing where it's like,
Yeah.
even if it's in February, it's like, hey, this Kang the Conqueror one, we're putting this at the end. This is the last time we're going to see Kang before Avengers.
That's why
5.
I was thinking, like, what you do is you have him at the end, him slam his fist down on something. No, so I'm going to switch up a little bit from what I was going to do. Slam the fist down the, like, computer desk type thing. It's all going to be hologram shit anyways.
Yeah.
He's going to pull up, like, what went on. He's going to show that, like, a bunch of little articles from our time showing, like, Snapshire throwing, like, one saying everyone's back. Maybe one of Tony Stark dying. One of
his funeral.
Yeah, stuff like that. Just showing, like, all the little effects that went on. But basically saying everyone was brought back. And then pan out, show Kang, kind of like, you'll see him, but you won't see, like, every little detail.
Yeah.
And you'll also pan out to the window where his reality is like everything's rumbling, everything's shaking, and everything's shifting to him not being the conqueror anymore.
Yeah, because
That's all I want.
Because his world is, we're changing the timeline.
Yeah. And we'll have one on there too about the quantum realm. Basically giving him the idea of how he's going to travel through time to fix this.
Yeah.
Because there's different Kang, like Kang the Conqueror is, I guess, a title.
Yeah.
And there's different ones throughout the timeline.
Oh, okay.
So he's the one that we know of is the one that comes back in time to fix his, because the rest of them are like succeed him.
So it's not like Kang is just traveling through time. It's, oh, I got to fix this. How do I travel through time to fix it?
I think that's what the route that they'll do, because it'll be like that way. Ant-Man and the Wasp play into.
Because then it's basically whatever they just explained in Ant-Man 3. Okay, that's how Kang's going to come back.
All the knowledge that was in Tony Stark's databanks, the Avengers Tower, that's all free game by 23 or 25, whatever fucking year it was for him. I forget.
In Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah, I forget what year his was.
So, I mean, that to me makes the most sense.
I like that after credit scene, leave it at that.
Do you think it matters whether it's in the February or late July slot?
It doesn't matter. It's not really going to affect a ton.
Also, do you want to... this may be a topic for another day when we do Black Panther 2, but I'm going to tell you right now, kind of at the end of this, I'm going to tag this on because I feel like we're at the done at the done of this. Guess what character might be in Black Panther 2? Storm.
Really?
So, from what I'm getting here, and this is from Showbiz Cheat Sheet, is that apparently they're eyeing Janelle Monáe for Storm in Black Panther 2. Take that as you may.
How do you spell that?
You're talking about Janelle Monáe.
Yeah.
It's going to be Janelle.
Okay, if it would type.
Janelle. Monae. A with an apostrophe, but
it's not an apostrophe, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
the accent on the A.
Yeah.
She has been in. The name sounds familiar to me. What she was? Oh, she was in like Moonlight, Rio 2. She was in The Equalizer with Denzel, Hidden Figures. She was in Ugly Dolls.
Okay.
She was a performer in Ugly Dolls. Let's see, what else was she in that we may know? Yeah, none of these is what I'm looking at. Bad Moms.
She was in Bad Moms?
Oh, this is soundtrack. I don't want soundtrack. I want actress. So she's going to be Peg in The Lady and the Tramp. She was Mandy in Ugly Dolls. and she was in Moonlight. Again, never saw it, but Academy Award. And Rio 2 was one of the first big things that she was in. Younger actress, about 5 years older than us, so like, what, mid-30s? But that may be your storm in the MCU. So.
Not bad. That'd be that. There's your tie-in right there to X-Men. Mutants and X-Men.
Do you think they Do you think then we see a marriage scene between
maybe it's not a marriage per se, but it's an arranged marriage type thing?
Yeah, exactly. Between her and T'Challa.
And maybe it's not really like we don't get to see the marriage just yet. It's like this is the whole thing kind of interrupted by whatever happens with Namor.
Yeah, because we got to talk about... We're going to be talking about that again, too, of yet again casting for Namor, because they haven't done that. But let us know what you think down below about everything for the quantum realm that we talked in this topic of the podcast. Yet again, make sure to support us, patreon.com/most valuable podcast. That's how you come and support us. Make sure to follow us on Twitch sooner rather than later. These podcasts will be live on Twitch. Get ahead of the curve. Follow us, twitch.tv, and then also follow us on Twitter. I'm at Ricky Widmer. Jerry is at
War Machine 9085.
Your Instagram is
Thor_Odinson90.
And then Most Valuable Podcast is at Most Valuable Pod. I want to thank you guys for checking out the podcast. Thank you guys for listening and watching. And as always, have a good day, everybody.